Hi, I'm practicing a little social distancing in my basement here this Sunday evening, and I got to thinking to myself, how are social distancing and prayer really a lot alike? Well, if you've been hearing some of the same comments that I have been lately, we've been doing this long enough that people are starting to get frustrated with it. Why do we have to distance ourselves from everyone else? Why do we have to quarantine? Why do we have to stay home? Things are not as bad as they could be. People were saying from the beginning this was going to be so much worse, and that's not materializing. Well, maybe that's true. We'll see how it turns out in the end, but actually, if things are not as bad as what we originally thought they could be, that means our social distancing measures are working. We won't know how bad things could have been if we didn't do any of these social distancing measures. All we know is that what we are doing now is intended to flatten the curve. That's what we've been hearing, right? To make it not as bad as the worst case scenario. Well, sometimes we can think of prayer in that same way, that it doesn't make a difference. Because how many times have you heard somebody say, after a mass shooting or a terrible tragedy in society or a natural disaster, yeah, your thoughts and prayers are really doing an awful lot of good. They're not stopping anything. Well, how do we know that? How do we know that if we weren't praying to God to protect us and society around us, that things could not be much, much worse and the devil would not run that much more amok? Absolutely, things could get worse. We just don't know it because we can't see it. All we do is trust God that He will be faithful to His promises. And this is what He has promised. The prayer of a righteous person, someone who is righteous, right with God through faith in Jesus Christ, a believer. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. God promises that He is listening to our prayers, that He is using them and working according to them in our lives for our good and for the good of the people around us. No, we can't ever see how much worse things could be if we weren't praying. All we can see is how things are now. And all we can do is trust that our God is working for our best through them. Maybe it might seem sometimes like our prayers aren't doing much good. But we don't trust our own eyes and ears and senses. We don't trust this world scoffing at God and His promises. We know that God's power and promises are so much more reliable than anything else we could ever depend on. Yes, social distancing is based on science and statistics, and those things are good as long as they are done properly. But what we believe, where we put our trust in God's power and promise and precedent, how He has worked all throughout history to bring His people to this point and promises that He will work the same way until Jesus comes back again, well, that is a foundation that is so much more certain. Social distancing and prayer. We do both of them because we believe that both of them will have a positive effect. Social distancing right now in these next few weeks, but prayer until Jesus comes back again, and the positive effect will last into eternity. So let's keep doing it. Let's keep bringing our prayers before our God, because He promises He is hearing and He is working for our good, for our communities, for our countries, for our worlds. God bless you now and always.